Shalom. All praises to YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, RAWCHAA, QADASH. Salutations to the hopeful elect. Double honors to the elders and apostles who rule well and teach well. In this video, I want to set the scene with the chariots of the Lord, because this is a very imperative part of prophecy, okay? And these things we get to see before it actually happens, but when you read it and you visualize it, it puts you more, in the spirit to actually see these things. So first, I want to start off with the foundation, right? First, let's go to Isaiah 26, just to show the wrath and the power of these chariots, right? Because it's going to be terrible, all right? It says, let favor, no, this is the wrong verse. This is Isaiah 26:20. It says, come, my people, enter thou into your chambers, and shut the door, your doors about thee, hide yourself as if it were for a little moment, until the indignation be overpassed. Now, keep in mind of that indignation. So the people are going to go into the chariots. This is at the end. They're going to enter into the chambers. Where are the chambers? It's in the heavens. All right, 104, Psalms 104, verse 3. It says, who layeth the beams of his chambers in the waters? The waters represents the heavens, the Shemayim. All right, because that's what the heavens are. Is water. So who layeth the beams of his chambers in the waters? Who maketh the clouds his chariot? And who walketh upon the wings of the wind? So this is describing the characteristics of the chariot. The chambers are within the chariot, right? That's enclosed, in the chariot. Now let's go over to all right, so let's go to 2nd Ezra chapter 15, because this is going to give you a deep visual of what it's going to be like when YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI come and perform judgment on the earth. All right, so this is 2nd Ezra chapter 15, verse 34. It says, behold, clouds from the east and from the north and to the south, and they are very horrible to look upon, full of wrath and storm. Now, as we have said or seen previously in the scriptures, Psalms 104, verse 3, Isaiah 26:20, the clouds we have confirmed are the chariots, right? These are similitudes for the chariots, all right? So it says they coming from the east and from the north and to the south. So they coming from all over, right? Coming from the east, all right? It says they are horrible to look upon, full of wrath and storm. All right, so visualize this, right? You have just 20,000 angels, right? In these UFOs, so-called UFOs. And, they filling up the sky so much that you can barely even see the sky. Now, when they come, it's going to be a lot of power, a lot of storms happening, hurricanes, earthquakes, tsunamis, any other supernatural storm that you can think of, right? You're gonna have, think of the most horrible storm that you ever heard, that you ever heard a thunderstorm that literally can shake your house just from the thunder alone. And it's like, it feels like it's 100 decibels, right? So just think of thousands of chariots coming through the sky, like an alien invasion. And think about the storm that comes behind them. Like, it's going to be a dark day, right? They're going to literally change the atmosphere, okay? It's going to be lightning strikes. It's going to be dark clouds. It's going to be, different colors. If you can imagine it, if you can see, right? Just think of the most, because this is the day of the Lord. This is the most horrible, thing that you can ever imagine. You can't, this is, just from thinking about it, it's not even going to be enough to amount to how much more terrible it's going to be. All right. Verse 35, it says, they shall smite one upon another, and they shall smite down a great multitude of stars upon the earth, even their own star, and blood shall be from the sword unto the belly. All right, so these stars, they represent like weapons. So on one end, the stars represents the missiles, right? On another end, their own star represents their weapons as well. So it's going to be missiles, nuclear missiles just falling. It's going to be UFOs, so-called UFOs flying in the air. It's going to be a lot of storm, a lot of tempest winds. It's going to be high winds. It may even be water, rain. It may even be just stuff flying all over the place. And it's going to be missiles too. So they got their own weapons as well. All right. It says, and the dung of men unto the camels howl. So that means that, in this situation, that horrible vision, right? You're going to see, men and people being completely eviscerated. Okay. When this day comes, it's going to be total destruction. It says, and the blood shall be from the sword unto the belly, and dung of men unto the camel's howl. All right, let's actually look up what is a howl or hue. I can't even pronounce that word. Let's see. Hawk. To the camel's hawk. Oh, to the joint in the hind leg of a horse. Oh, so that's how much damage is going to be done. It's going to be done all the way up to the height of a camel's hawk. Right. All right. It says, and there shall be great fearfulness and trembling upon the earth, and they that see the wrath shall be afraid, and trembling shall come upon them. Right? So you got all of this, the storms, you got the missiles, you got the lasers coming from these so-called UFOs. Everybody is going to be afraid, trembling. This isn't like going to be a walk in the park. All right. It says, and then shall there come great storms from the south and from the north, and another part from the west. So this is everywhere. You can't run away. You know how you see on a weather map, you might see a hurricane just in this area on the southeastern, Atlantic, near the Atlantic. Then or maybe you might see a storm picking up over in the Pacific. No, this is going to be coming from the south, from the north, from the west, from the east, everywhere. So just picture a storm, hurricanes, from all oceans, what I'm saying, just rising up, coming to one place just for destruction, to Babylon the Great, right? It says, and strong winds shall arise from the east, and shall open it, and the cloud which he raiseth up in wrath, and the star stirred to cause fear toward the east and west wind shall be destroyed. Okay? So as you can see, it's more destruction, you know what I'm saying, coming from the cloud, which is the chariots. It says, the great and mighty cloud shall be puffed up full of wrath, and the star that they may make all the earth afraid, and them that dwell therein, and they shall pour out every high and eminent place and horrible star. Right? So that horrible star represents that destruction, that it could be, it's a missile, right? These nuclear weapons. It says, and they shall pour out every high and eminent place and horrible star. I could think of like major cities. Think about major cities. You know what I'm saying? These are high places, or even nuclear facilities where, you know, to counteract other nations' nuclear missiles. It says, fire and hail and flying swords and many waters, that all fields may be full, and all rivers with the abundance of great waters. Yikes. So those great waters represents the people. So the rivers and the fields, the rivers, they're gonna be filled with just man, you know, being destroyed. Everywhere is gonna be total annihilation. It says, and they shall break down the cities and walls and mountains and hills, trees of the wood and grass of the meadows and their corn. So as you can see, it's total devastation, total annihilation. Nothing is going to be saved. This is talking about the turning Babylon the Great into a desert. Okay, so this is going to completely eviscerate the nature, the cities, you know, the walls, the mountains. A mountain, you know how big and dense a mountain is? That's pretty crazy. It says, and they shall go steadfastly unto Babylon and make her afraid. It's talking about Babylon the Great, the whore, right? The abominable nation. It says, they shall come to her and besiege her. The star and all wrath shall they pour out upon her. Then shall the dust and smoke go up unto the heaven, and all they that be about her shall bewail her. Okay, this is speaking in an event that's very synoptic to Revelation. You know, where Babylon the Great gets completely destroyed, you know, with all that wrath poured out on her from all the missiles. You know, of course, there's going to be dust and smoke, right, in the air because of all of the destruction, you know, hitting the ground like a great millstone, right? It's just a heavy, heavy scene. And I cannot imagine seeing this like in the future, like Ezra seen it, like he actually seen these things happen. I can imagine actually seeing this. If I seen this, I probably would get sick as well, right? This is enough to make you sick, your heart faint, right? It says, and they that remain under her shall do service unto them that have put her in fear. And thou, okay, that's it on that. All right, so let me go to, I want to go to Habakkuk. So as you can see, it's just total destruction coming upon the earth. And it's not going to be pretty. It's going to be a horrible day. It might be not might, but it will be like one of the worst days. No, not one of the worst. It will be the worst day ever in history, ever recorded. So everything that you can think of, like you had a bad day, maybe nothing went right in your day, you got in a car accident, somebody in your family died, and you know, you lost all your money, you lost parts of your family, you know, you got rained on, maybe somebody knocked your teeth out, that's not even compared, to the actual day of the Lord. All right. Nothing can compare to that day. All right, this is Habakkuk 3, verse 3. It says, God came from Teman, and the Holy One from Mount Paran, Selah. Okay, so think about it. This is, the Most High. He coming from Teman, meaning the people of Teman, which are Edomites, right? And it says his glory, this is where, wherever the Edomites are dwelling, okay? It said his glory covered the heavens, and the earth was full of his praise. And his brightness as the light. He had horns coming out of his hand, and there was the hiding of his power. Okay? So this is talking about the horns represents power, okay? The hand is basically that ship, the chariot, all right? And the horns are actually the rays of light. All right, let's see. Horns, it says rays of light, if you can see it right there. So these are going to be, if you got eyes to see, right, and ears to hear, these are going to be like beams coming out of the chariots. All right. Verse 5, before him went the pestilence, and burning coals went forth at his feet. So if you can get a visual, right, of this chariot, right, it's just a lot of destruction before the chariot enters the area. Wherever the area is at, it's going to be destruction, right? It's a lot of power and glory coming from this chariot, the Holy One. And it says he stood and measured the earth. He beheld and drove asunder the nations, and the everlasting mountains were scattered. The perpetual hills did bow. His ways are everlasting. So as you can see, let's go look at the NLT. It says, when he stops, the earth shakes. When he looks, the nations tremble. He shatters the everlasting mountains and levels the eternal hills. He is the eternal one. All right. So when he came and measuring, he sized it up. When you size somebody up, it's like a threat, right? Or you trying to see what that person is about, in layman's terms. But it's measuring, is he trying the earth, right? It says, and drove asunder. And so he made the mountains shake. So that's earthquakes. The hills bow, meaning like they destroyed. So when you think about it, think about a so-called UFO or a spaceship, right? When it enters the atmosphere, you can hear the static. You can feel, you ever been outside and you can hear the rumbling of the thunder, and you can see the atmosphere changes, like colors. Maybe it's a little bit more gray, more darker. You can hear the thunder rolling. You can kind of feel the static in the air as the storm is getting closer, right? And then you can even kind of see lightning in the sky flash like quickly, right? That's how, if you could see. And then, matter of fact, you can even hear, like, just think, you can hear the trembling in the earth, like tremors in the earth before earthquake or after earthquake. You got those aftershocks. Like, just think about tremors. Remember, he said he's gonna make the earth shake, right? So just think of all of this into one. You got the visual of the static in the air. You can hear it. You got the rolling thunder that just gets louder and louder, and that quick little silence before it just completely just go crazy, like the thunder, like a loud boom, almost like maybe it might even sound like something just crashed on the earth, like a meteor crashing on the earth. All right, so let's go to let's go to Revelations. Quick little vid, you know. Revelation 19, verse 11. And I saw heaven opened, and behold, a white horse. So heaven opening is like YAHAWASHI, he's coming through the clouds, right? Through the atmosphere. It says, and behold, a white horse. This horse represents the chariot, or it's synonymous. It's a similitude for the chariot. It says, and he that sat upon him was called Faithful and True. So this is YAHAWASHI. He's actually in control of this chariot, this specific chariot. And in righteousness, he doth judge and make war. So when he comes back to the earth, he's coming to have the war of the worlds. You're going to have YAHAWASHI coming to take over all of these kingdoms on earth. Okay. Let's go down to 14. It says, and the armies which were in heaven, remember Yahweh is the Lord of hosts, right? So YAHAWASHI, he's coming back with the army, a battalion. He's coming back with legions. It says, and the armies which were in heaven followed him upon white horses. You know, white meaning like pure, right? It says, clothed in fine linen, white and clean. So this is his royal army. That's going to be, when people see it, they're going to see so-called spaceships. These are their chariots. Okay. Well, moving down verse 19, it says, and I saw the beast and the kings of the earth and their armies gathered together to make war against him that sat on the horse and against his army. So this is the war of the worlds, right? This is Armageddon, right? This is going to be in the valley of decision. And we all know who the winner is in the end. It's already been decided, okay? So that's pretty much a visual, right, of YAHAWASHI when he comes back through the clouds, crack open the sky, right, with his army. And it's going to be the earth armies, the king's armies. They're going to have their so-called advanced technology, and he's going to make them fight. All right, but it's going to be terrible. It's going to be, you know, flawless victory. All right, let's go to one more chapter, one more book real quick, and then I'm going to wrap it up. This is Joel chapter 2. See, the terrible visitation. Okay, I'm going to start at 2. It says, a day of darkness and of gloominess, a day of clouds and of thick darkness, as the morning spread upon the mountains. A great people and a strong, there hath not been ever the like, neither shall be any more after it, even to the years of many generations. Remember, I said this is going to be a day that's not like any other day ever in history. All right. Verse 4, it says, the appearance of them is as the appearance of horses, and as horsemen, so shall they run. So this is what Joel seen. But these are the chariots, right? When it manifests in that day, you'll see, you know, if you are there, it's going to be what it looks like to be spaceships, these chariots that people see and have footage of all over the world. It says, like the noise of chariots on the tops of mountains shall they leap, right? So these chariots are going to be moving quickly. This is like the noise of a flame of fire. They're going to be just bouncing all over the place. Like the noise of a flame of fire that devoureth the stubble, as a strong people set in battle array. So this is how you know these are the hosts, you know, the angels of the Lord, you know, they anteed up. It says, before their face the people shall be much pained. All faces shall gather blackness. Can you imagine? Let's see what that says in the NLT. Like, I'm hoping y'all really getting a visual, because this is far out, okay? It says, fear grips all the people. Every face grows pale with terror. All right, so this ain't gonna be one of those things like, oh my God, look, it's a UFO. You know, when people look and they are excited, they're not as fearful. But when these chariots come back, when YAHAWASHI comes back on the earth to take over all the kingdoms, it's not going to be sweet like that. It's going to be a day of gloominess, a day of darkness. All right. It says, they shall run like mighty men. They shall climb the wall like men of war, and they shall march everyone on his ways, and they shall not break their ranks. Right. Because they're going to be in order. They set up in battle, just like how we get the inspiration on earth to set up the armies in different battle arrays. Right. They're going to be in a battle array too, and they're going to be able to perform or do what they are commanded to do, which is to destroy. It says, neither shall one thrust another. They shall walk everyone in his path, and when they fall upon the sword, they shall not be wounded. That means that when the armies of the earth, you know, this is the war of the worlds, when they try to fight back and they try to hit them with their weapons, their directed energy weapons, right? Their lasers, so-called lasers. Because I'm pretty sure by that time, the, you know, militaries on the earth, they're going to have these advanced weapons in which they got lasers. It's going to be like Star Wars, right? But of course, you know, it's not going to hurt the angels of the Lord, obviously, because, you know, you're dealing with the army of YAHAWAH BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI. Like, it's a no contest, right? It says, they shall run to and fro in the city. They shall run upon the wall. They shall climb up upon the houses. They shall enter in at the windows like a thief. The earth shall quake before them. The heavens shall tremble. The sun and the moon shall be dark, and the stars shall withdraw their shining. Right, so that's just giving you more of a visual of how dark that day is going to be, right? Just completely hopelessness. Complete hopelessness. All right. Verse 11, it says, and Yahweh shall utter his voice before his army, for his camp is very great. Just think, 20,000s of just legions and legions and legions of angels. That's the camp. It says, for his camp is very great, for he is strong that executeth his word. You know, the commander in chief, he gives out his commands and they do exactly what he tells them to do. It says, for the day of Yahweh is great and very terrible, and who can abide it? All right, so that's pretty much it. All praises to Yahawah BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI. Pray that this was edifying. Shalom.